family. Thank you for stopping by the Abuse Me Not blog. I'm Cassandra Foster, as many of you probably already know. I just wanted to do a weekly video blog about how I'm doing and how I'm moving forward with life after experiencing narcissistic abuse. It is not easy. I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder about 2 years ago at the expense of some of the abuse that I've gone through. And some of it I haven't been able to talk about freely. But this is just my way of getting my story out there, a source for healing, and also to help somebody else. So I hope that it helps. Some of the things that went on in my past, I am just not ready to share, so I haven't. But I need to. One of the things I discovered when I went into a domestic violence meeting through one of the programs here in Columbus, Ohio, I learned that the pathology of abusers are the same across the board. That means that they have the same mindsets. They do very similar things. They carry on in the exact same pattern with each other. So even though they may not know each other, they still have the same mindset as an abuser across town. And it's scary to think of that. But when you think of it in spiritual terms, you realize that this really is a spiritual thing that you're dealing with, and not just the mentality of one person. But as you sit inside of a group with several different women, it seemed like we all shared very similar stories of the things that we've gone through. So that led me to believe also, or to know, that those of us that have a codependent type of mindset, it's a spiritual thing, because we're different people. We grew up differently. We grew up on different sides of town. We don't know each other, but yet we are in a meeting because of things that we've gone through, and we're sharing the exact same stories. It actually brought me to tears to actually sit in this meeting, because I initially went there just to listen. I didn't go there planning to speak or to say anything. I just went to listen because it was advised by my counselor to go. So I went, and it just opened up my eyes to realize that there is something deeper here. And then as I look at my situation, and you tend to get upset about the things that you face, especially when you're dealing with a partner, a significant other, a husband, a spouse, or someone that you love. It's almost traumatizing. But because I'm a spiritual person, you look at the spiritual aspect of it. And I remember when everything was first happening, I remember praying, and I just felt like God impressed upon me that this is the same thing that he went through when Lucifer betrayed him. So he went through the exact same thing. This was a child. This was someone he had created. This was someone he had, the Bible says that he made him to be the bright and morning star, gave him all the beautiful gems and stones. And he was, if you read in Ezekiel, it talks about all the things that the angel had. So he was the brightest star in heavens. And then to portray God, God experienced the same feelings and the same things that I experienced in the same type of relationship. Well, not the same type, because this is like a creator and the person who was created. And for me, it was a marriage and a spouse. But the same principles apply. The same feelings of love, the same feelings of betrayal. It's the same. So it doesn't surprise me that the pathology of people who abuse others is the same across the board. And for those who are being abused, they have something called the Stockholm Syndrome. And that's when you begin to actually empathize with the person who is abusing you, because you hear their story. Oh, I went through this as a child. I was abused as a child, and I lost my mom, or, I had this horrible upbringing. And so that's my excuse for being able to treat others the way that I do. And there's no excuse, because if everyone was able to treat people that way, then what would the world be? You would have no help. You would have no one to be able to show you how to come out. So there's just a lot of spiritual principles behind this. And even for, I don't like to just talk about the people who do the abusing, because codependents play a part too. You choose to stay in the situation. You choose to enable the abuser, or you help them to abuse other people. So this is just, again, my way of healing. So I'm just grateful to be able to share my story. It's taken me a long time to do this because there's just a lot of things that I'm still not comfortable talking about, even after years of going through counseling. And thank God for the EMDR treatment, which is a psychological treatment that they do to help you heal from post-traumatic stress disorder. And I would have to say that if you've ever had PTSD, ask about the EMDR treatment. It really does help, and I guarantee that you will benefit from it. So thank you for tuning in, and hopefully this website encourages you and helps you to know that you are surviving to be victorious. You're not just surviving to exist, but you are surviving to be victorious. Thank you.